Hello everyone and welcome back to our final video in securing APIs with Amazon Cognito. Now, in the previous video, we went ahead and locked down our API by means of a Cognito Authorizer. Now, in this video, we're going to see how we can regain access to our API by using an access token to identify ourselves to the authorizer so that we are able to receive the responses back that we are anticipating, which is hello from Lambda. Okay, so before we go ahead and do that, I went ahead and set some things up, and let's just walk through what we have. The first thing we have here is that we have another function. As you can see here, if I click on functions, we have our home function. This is what we are trying to receive a response from. And the new function here is the auth function. Now, the auth function is what we'll use to authenticate ourselves. And so it has some configurations here. The first thing it has is some environment variables. It uses the API gateway URL because we're going to make a request to our API. It also has the Cognito client ID as well as the Cognito pool ID, right? And if we go over here to the code and we take a look at it, they are being used right here. All right. It also has this Lambda auth role attached to it. Now this Lambda auth role has the auth policy, which is right here. And these are the permissions and actions that the policy is able to allow. And they mostly pertain to Cognito in the authentication process. So this is what we're going to use to make requests to Cognito and say, hey, I have a user with this password and they are trying to authenticate. So this is attached to our auth function. We also have a, here's our test that we're going to use. This is the user that we created in their previous step with the username and password. So a little bit about the code. The main magic is going on line 34 through 42. That is where we authenticate with Amazon Cognito. We have our username and password here that we receive from the request, our user pool ID as well as our client ID, and the auth flow is admin user password auth. Down here we have a function called access API that we use to make a request once we have an access token to our API. And so this is the auth function. This is what we're going to use to authenticate and then make a request to our API. And when we run this, we will get back an access token. You can see here's our access token from Cognito. It also gave us a few other things, expires in, token type, and refresh token. And you can also see in the response, we have hello from Lambda. This is coming back from our home function. And so this right here is indicating that, hey, we are now able to regain access to our API. And so this wraps up our lesson on securing APIs with Amazon Cognito. There's a lot more that you can do with Amazon Cognito, but I wanted to try to keep these videos as short as possible and pretty straightforward. So as always, if you have any other questions, definitely feel free to research the AWS documentation. There are a lot of other sources out there that you can use to find the answers that you're looking for, Stack Overflow being one. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, take care.